really running out of time today. Oh, what did I read today? I guess the first interesting thing I read dealt with actually the platform here, YouTube. As a lot of people may know, YouTube has like this system where for certain contents, if they deem it inappropriate, too violent, etc., then they will either take the video down, or I guess they will, for example, prevent the creator from earning any income from it. Now, in recent times, YouTube has admitted it's a robot that basically goes around the platform and tries to identify topics, like which ones are inappropriate, because there's just way too much content that's uploaded daily. And they even admit it's not 100% accurate. So they released this system recently where you, as the person uploading material, could rate your own content. For example, if you think it's perfectly fine, like advertiser friendly, then you can mark it as such. If for some reason you think it's violent and so forth, then mark it as it's a sensitive issue, like it's not appropriate for all advertisers. So with that, if you rank your own video as appropriate and then the robot decides, nope, I think it's inappropriate, then a human reviewer from YouTube is supposed to come in and they will essentially be the judge and jury on what the final say is. So this one dealt with a person named Penguinz0, who's basically pretty big on the platform, and he basically did what looked like a react video. So from what I gather, this video was about, I guess, cartoon characters having road rage. It looked like it was completely scripted, obviously, like it's meant to be funny. And this guy was doing like a react video on it. Now, apparently there was no issues with it for the longest time, but then all of a sudden the system flags it. So no problem, you'll basically just say, hey, you're wrong, robot. So then a human will come in and say, yeah, I'll look at this, there's nothing wrong with this. This guy reacting to some silly skit, basically. But that's the interesting thing. Apparently when he submitted this, YouTube, I guess the manual reviewer, decided to determine, nope, this one's inappropriate. And he actually got like a community strike for this. And so he says here he was trying to get answers, but apparently all he got was like robots types of responses. So that's when he decided to take this public. And he says here, was going to handle this privately, but seems there's actually no human review in these things. He goes on further to say, obviously no one should be in trouble for joking about what is clearly a staged video. I'd just like to know why only mine was deemed disturbing and shocking. That's a fair comment, right? So what he did was he actually posted this message of so many other people actually using the exact same clip and doing like a reaction video too. So he actually raised here, he says, Markiplier also made a video laughing about the same fake road rage incident. When will he be getting his strike? And basically directly asking YouTube, so what's going on? Why the bias? Now this guy, for example, this Mark person, he has tons of subscribers, like 26.8 million, so he's been here a long time. And to my understanding, he makes like family-friendly content, like for the most part. So sure enough, I guess in support of him, the Mark person replies to YouTube, fair is fair, where's my strike? That is the crazy thing. I guess when he posted this, look what happened to that guy's channel. He goes, LOL, there it is. So he got a strike now. I was like, what? Wow, that's crazy. That's like someone like, I don't know, are you like bitter? Like someone working there behind the scenes at YouTube like, oh yeah, watch this. So that created a lot of outrage, and even the person responded after saying, I'm absolutely shocked YouTube is deciding to die on this hill, striking even the most wholesome creator on their site, rather than admit it was a mistake in the first place. What's next? Striking every WWE video for fake violence as well? I mean, that is true. I mean, there has to be some consistency. In the end though, YouTube released a statement here right on their Twitter account. It says, this is definitely not the game we want to play. We're so sorry for the confusion and frustration here. Your video and others are back up and the associated strikes have been removed. And they also followed up with the other person as well. And it says, update, we're not going to die on this hill. You were right. After even further review, your video and others are back up and these strikes have been removed. This was an over-enforcement of our policies, especially with an added context commentary as you originally pointed out. So all in all, both people were happy afterwards, but that is so disturbing, like that a company could actually do something like that. Basically, oh, I'm gonna punish you. Can you imagine if it's someone smaller without that kind of, I guess, voice and resources? That's a scary thing, unfortunately. I guess for some extra information for those who don't know, with this new system, when you rank your own videos, you can essentially become like a trusted, I guess, channel as long as you rate your videos properly. And the most important thing, just from my observation, is if they flag your video as inappropriate or whatever, where you initially said it was fine, and then they check it and says, oops, our bad. If you do this enough, then you're basically put like on a good list, I guess. Like that's actually what I have here. Like here, I get this message all the time. It says, keep up the good work. It looks like you have filled out the questionnaire accurately for previous videos. As a result, we're using your input when determining if your videos follow our ad-friendly content guidelines. Again, to my understanding, the way this works is you get this trust if they do manual reviews and determine, yes, our robot was wrong when they flagged you. Because I do like daily videos, so you can imagine how much I get flagged and prove that they're wrong. Like for example, I know one of the things that triggers that algorithm is, I guess if the site is getting a lot of search for like a certain word, that's how it determines, hey, something's wrong. And a great example of this, like proving the system is broken, like that robot, so you can prove it wrong, is during this time, there's so much news about Chinese stuff. For example, people calling it the quote Chinese virus, Chinese spying. So during that time, actually, when it started to peak and all that, I have videos talking about things like Chinese New Year's. Like I'm just filming the Chinese New Year event. All of a sudden the robot flags is, okay, this is inappropriate because it talks about Chinese. That's my assumption. So obviously I tell them like, nope, you're wrong. So then afterwards look at it like, what? There's nothing wrong with this. That's just an example of how it works. Now the system is still broken overall. And I guess the other thing I read, this one was kind of interesting. It says, Camcopter S-100 helicopter drone makes world first oil rig delivery. Aviation history was made off the coast of Norway recently as the Camcopter S-100 drone rotorcraft delivered a 3D printed part to an oil rig after 100 kilometers flight over the North Sea, potentially opening up a path towards safer, cheaper, and lower emission servicing of these mass offshore operations. To service these platforms, the oil companies operate the world's largest fleet of heavy instrument flight rule helicopters. These carry 2 million passengers a year, and some of these machines were built especially for North Sea work. It says the recent test took place on August 27th when the Camcopter S-100 from Equinor and Nordic Unmanned took off from Mustang in Vestland, Norway, and completed the Beyond Visual Line of Sight mission to the Troll A production platform. I guess I did mention it's kind of funny where they're using this because if they're oil, they'll rely on oil, not with like electric equipment. But yeah, I guess it's a cool way to see the tech being used even more now. That's so weird, just seeing people sitting in the dark, like in the middle of the forest. I think that was a raccoon. Alright, see you guys later.